Alright, hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. I'm Scoby228 and today I'm going to be showing you how to, or really the basics of Visual Basic. So we're going to be going over just some necessities that you need to know as a developer if you're new to this. Now, if you're completely new to programming, this isn't the video for you because I'm not going to be going over the basic stuff. So if you already know how to program a little, even in Batch, then that's fine too. You can probably understand this and you can learn from it too. So let's go ahead and get started. So I recommend you download the latest Visual Basic. I have 2012 and 10, but I'm using 2010 right now because I just like it better. 2012 is just a little too much. Nothing new, just changes the design. I don't like it. So after you open up Visual Basic, just go on File and make a new project. Now we're going to be just name it Basics. So just select Windows Forms application and write Basics. This is the name of the project. Now this won't have a big difference, it won't make a big difference on the application. So if you don't want to name it Basics, go ahead and name it whatever you want. So it's taking a long time. Now, if you haven't already, once you first open this up, you'll have these two. You have a toolbox and data sources. You're gonna need to use the toolbox a lot. So click on toolbox and just pin it down so you have it easily accessible. So what we're gonna be making is a little login form that when you're logged in takes you to a new form. So grab a label, and now I don't know where your background is in programming, but most programming languages don't have this kind of thing. They don't have this whole user interference, which is what makes Visual Basic really easy and really fun to use. Not only is it powerful, but it's really simple too. So you're gonna find a label and just drag it in there. The awesome thing about Visual Basic is that you don't need to program that much. You only need a small bit of code. So on your properties over here, you have a whole bunch of just settings for the object. So all the settings are available here. They're also available in the code. So I'll be going over that later. So change the text over here to login, please. And you can change the font and the size from the properties menu also. So you have all the fonts. Now the really stupid thing about this is it doesn't accept all fonts. For example, okay, well, accepts this one, but usually it'll give you only TrueType fonts are supported. So I'm not sure why this is, but we have to go with it. So pick a nice font. Now grab yourself a text box and put it in there, and this is where the person will log in. So this is not a password and login screen kind of thing. I mean password and username, just a simple password. Now there's really no need for password or username and password right now, but if you want to, you probably have to go more advanced, where you'd have a data source, and yeah, because the method that I'm going to be using right now isn't something that you'd be wanting using for large projects. So grab yourself another label and go down to the text property and change that to password. And then grab a button and place it right there, and larger a little. Change the form. Now if you've noticed how this looks over here, says form 1, if you want to change that to whatever your app is, click on the form on a blank space and find your form 1 properties and change the text property to whatever you want it to be. So login. Now if you want to change it to the text, just go to the text property. Pretty much any object that has some kind of text has a text property. So let's make login like that. Now to open the coding interference, you'd have to just double click any object, and then that will open up an action for that object to open. It'll open up a sub. So for example, if we wanted to onload when the application is loaded to execute a command, we double click on the actual form, blank space, then it'll open up this. And it actually writes everything down for us, so we don't have to worry about anything. We just sit back and it'll write all this stuff. So in Visual Basic you have little subs. So a sub is basically a function, kind of, not really a function, but kind of a function that you write your information in. So it is really a function, so if this happens, then execute whatever's in here. So this says if form onloads. So onload do this. So we don't really need that, so we can either leave it blank or erase it, and go back and just double click the button. And what this would do is it'd make action button 1 click, and on this, when it's clicked, do the following. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to check what the password is, and if this password matches what the password is in the main directory, or what the password is supposed to be, then allow him in the new form. So how do we do that? Well, we want to get the name of this text box. So it's text box 1. So we go on here and then we want to use the if statement. Now you probably already know about the if statement. Same thing. So just like any other language, I think, you just write if argument. So if text box 1 dot text. Now notice, if you want to get the property of the value of a property in any object or anything, you put a dot, and then this dot will show you all the properties. So basically, this is showing you this stuff over here, except you have more control over it. So text box 1 dot text equals, and let's say the password is pass123 equals this, then click enter and it will finish up your end if, and that's what all ifs say. And yeah, so notice in Visual Basic, strings are written in little, what are these called? Little quotations, and numbers don't need quotations. So if I want to write a number, I can just write a number like that, and it will be fine, right? And yeah, so you know what? Instead of doing this, let's make this a variable. So let's declare a variable. To declare a variable, you need to write dim. And when you write dim, you gotta do dim name of the variable as whatever it is, as a string, as an integer, as a number, or you don't even need to write the as. You can just leave it like this. So correct password. We can either leave it like that, or we can do as string. Same thing. Now if you're wondering what this error is, it's not really an error, it's just telling you that you didn't use this variable. So if we want to use it, we just replace this with the variable correct password. Now we want to assign a value to this. So we would do equals, and then we'd write the value of the thing. So it was pass 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now the warnings are gone and everything's working. So now we want it to do, if this text box equals what the correct password is supposed to be, then close this form and open up the new form. So you want to add a new form from here, and add Windows form, and this is welcome. So welcome screen, let's just add a simple label. Welcome to the password, or to the Gauger Secret Service. Secret Service database. There we go. So make this a little smaller. And there we go. And let's have a logout button. Log out. So by now you should be getting pretty used to this. You know how the interference is. So let's go and start coding again. So now we want it, so after it checks everything, and if the password is actually correct, now close this form and open up the other form. So we would do me, which is how you refer to the current form. Watch this. If you do form1 dot hide or close, you don't want to close this because this is the main form. If you close it, then the whole program closes. You can change that in the properties, but we're not going to go to there yet. So if we do form1 dot hide, it'll tell you you can't use it to refer to itself. You have to use me. So you have to roll with it and just do me hide. Now, what if the password is not correct? What if it's the wrong password? This is where we have to use an else statement. An else statement is like an if statement, or kinda is the opposite of what an if statement is. It goes with an if statement, so if you have you can't have it just an else statement like that. It has to go with an if. So what this basically does is it checks if we're looking for it checks if, for instance over here, if the text box has the correct password. If it doesn't, so if else, then do this. So we just put it in like that. If else, we do message box, and this is the dialog. So this would show you a prompt that would tell you whatever. So when using a message box, first you'd write in the message that you wanted to display. So we do wrong password. Now you can go ahead and close it right there, but since this is wrong password, we want to kind of give it a better feel. For example, let me just show you. If we start running right here, and that's how you run in Visual Basic. Right, internet, login. See, it just says wrong password, no noise, nothing that kind of alerts us. Stop that. Now, if we do the following, if we add a comma, and this adds more properties, separates the different properties, and then we'd write message box style dot critical, and then we do another comma. This is the title on the top of the prompt. Error. Let's close that. And now if we do run, watch this. See, it gives us a little error. The whole X, the sound, it just feels more real. It feels more correct, kind of. So now we wanted to actually show the new form, because watch this. If we do put in the correct password, it won't do anything, because I mean, it just told itself to hide, so now you have nothing. So that's not what we want. Now we want to finish it off. So we want it to hide itself and then to show the new form. So to show the welcome form. So we write welcome dot show. So now when we try it, pass 1, 2, 3, it'll show us welcome to the Secret Service database. Let's close that up. So now let's work on this form. Now we want this form to log out. And I'm thinking we should also add another button just to help you learn even more. And make this change the password. So this will kind of help us. Now I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to make a new video, part 2. So be sure to check out part 2 to finish off learning Visual Basic. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, if I didn't make something clear, just please point that out in the comments below. And watch the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.